I've already made $20,000 without studying. My husband smirked in response to my question. That's not earning, I shot back, my voice trembling with a mix of frustration. It's no different than hitting the jackpot in gambling. It's luck, not work. Jared's smirk twisted into a sneer. That's why single-celled organisms like you are so irritating. You're too small-minded to understand real action. People like you just sit around making noise about studying while others succeed. At that moment, my father-in-law spoke up for the first time. A wife's role is to stand by her husband and support his efforts. Exactly, my mother-in-law chimed in, her laugh cold and dismissive. You're just jealous, because Jared is making money while you do nothing. My husband and my in-laws didn't yet realize how wrong they were. My name is Vivian Johnson. I'm 24 years old and a newlywed housewife. My husband, Jared, was a senior at the company where I started working after graduating from university. Would you like to go out for dinner sometime? Jared would call out to me, his voice warm and persistent, every time he finished work. After countless invitations, I finally said, okay, if you'll pay for me, that's fine. In retrospect, that might have been my mistake. Jared, seeing an opportunity with me, made a strong move. His serious and passionate approach quickly won me over, and we started dating immediately. In our second year of dating, Jared proposed, and we got married. After discussing with Jared, I happily retired from the company after only 2 years. My colleagues sent me off warmly. It's a waste for Vivian to become a housewife, said one of my colleagues. Another chimed in, that's right. Even if she gets married, Vivian should continue working. She's especially excellent among the newcomers. I majored in information technology at university, and I think I was good at my job in that field. My boss once told me, you work fast and make very few mistakes. To my peers, who didn't approve of my resignation, I explained, being quick at work and being good at balancing work and home are two different things, right? Right now, I want to focus on getting used to married life rather than work. I can always look for a job once my married life settles down, and with that, I left the company. Now, I've only been married to Jared for a few months, but now I regret the words I said when I quit my job. As a housewife, I'm only busy in the mornings. I make breakfast and Jared's lunch, then finish cleaning and laundry. From noon to evening, it's really boring, and I only go shopping once every few days. I never thought such boring days would start. Maybe deciding to quit was my mistake. Even if I think about it now, it's too late. I've already quit my job. Even if I say now that I want to go back to work, my boss would probably give me a dirty look. So, right after getting married, I started a data entry job that I could do at home. Working from home, where I could work whenever and wherever I wanted, and in whatever clothes I wanted, felt fresh and exciting to me. Before I knew it, I was able to earn a part-time wage. At first, Jared supported me. That's great, he said with genuine admiration. You can earn a part-time wage while taking care of the house. Vivian has found an efficient way to work. You're a model housewife. My husband praised me in front of his parents, but about half a year after starting my work from home, Jared's attitude changed. After marrying me, Jared was given more big deals and guidance to his subordinates at work, so he was away from home more often. On his rare days off, he would lie on the sofa all day with a tired face. You're lucky, he muttered one day. You can work leisurely at home. His words carried a sarcastic edge. On other occasions, he would say things like, you should hurry up and earn big money like me. His condescension stung. You agreed to me becoming a housewife, didn't you? I pointed out, frustrated. He shot back, shut up, and retreated to his bedroom. Before long, Jared and I were living separate lives within the same house, each occupying our own rooms. One day, Jared scoffed at me. Is the carefree housewife playing on her computer again today? Annoyed, I snapped, if you say it's easy and fun, why don't you try doing my job, Jared? You'll understand how hard it is. Instead of answering, Jared pulled out his smartphone and made a call. Mom, he said dramatically, Vivian is telling me to do both office work and work from home. After a few moments, he handed me the phone. She wants to talk to you, he said with a smirk. As soon as I took the phone, my mother-in-law's voice boomed through the receiver. "You're a housewife, right? If you have time to tell Jared to increase his workload, you should look for a job and go to work." I tried to explain myself, but she cut me off sharply. "Be quiet." This happened several times, and eventually my mother-in-law sighed heavily and said, "That's enough, Vivian. I understand that you're a shrew. I'm worried about Jared, so I'll live with you guys." "What?" I exclaimed in shock, but before I could say more, she hung up the phone. "You're kidding, right? Living together is no joke," I said, turning to Jared. "I have to call her back and refuse," I added firmly. But Jared snatched my phone away. "It's good medicine for you," he said, his voice dripping with malice. "I'm all for living together." His creepy smile froze me in place, unable to respond. The next day, my in-laws came to our house and started discussing their plans to move in. There was a reason why I was adamantly against living with them. They were obsessed with appearances and status. My mother-in-law announced proudly, "By the way, since Vivian is earning money too, we've contracted a $6,000 a month high-rise apartment in Jared's name." Jared grinned. "Thank you, Mom," he said, while his father nodded approvingly. I couldn't believe my ears. "Wait a minute," I interjected. "Don't decide such important things without consulting me. Besides, even if we combine my husband's income and mine, we can't afford such a high rent." My voice trembled as I looked at Jared, who simply smiled triumphantly. "Why are you smiling like that?" I asked sharply, trying to decipher his smug expression. Jared held up his phone. "I earned it for you, who can't make much money working from home," he announced. "I did it with foreign exchange. Now I earn $20,000 a month." My heart sank. "Did you study properly before doing FX?" I asked, dreading the answer. "Study?" Jared sneered. "I've already earned $20,000 without studying. That's why single-celled organisms like you are so annoying. People who can't take action are always noisy about studying." His arrogance was insufferable. "That's not earning money," I said firmly. "It's the same as hitting it big in gambling. Don't do FX anymore after this time." At that moment, my father-in-law spoke for the first time. "It's a wife's duty to support her husband's work. Don't interfere with Jared's efforts." "That's right," my mother-in-law added with a laugh. "You're just jealous because Jared made money." Their laughter filled the room, their delusion evident. I knew my words would probably never get through to him and my in-laws, blinded as they were by the illusion of easy money. But staying silent would have felt like agreeing with their recklessness. "Either way, stop messing with FX," I said to Jared one last time before walking away. A few days later, my in-laws and husband ignored my advice and proceeded with the move to the high-rise apartment. My in-laws seemed to misunderstand that Jared was working for a company called Forex. It's utterly ridiculous. Jared himself seems to be boasting at work, saying, "I'm a genius to be able to earn money with FX without any knowledge." As for my in-laws, they are going around telling lies to the neighbors after the move, pushing their showy personality to the forefront. "My son is the owner of an internet business. He's earning about $20,000 a month," they claimed. The neighbors, who live in the same high-rise apartment, are also confused by their reaction. Of course, considering that a family earns only $20,000 a month, moving into a $6,000 high-rise apartment must have left others thinking, "That's way too little." I was so embarrassed. But now that we've moved, all I can do is what I have to do. I have to earn more anyway, since we have the rent for the high-rise apartment. After all, I can't rely on my husband's FX income. While attending a twice-monthly study group for work-from-home opportunities, I unexpectedly ran into a former colleague from my previous company. As we caught up and discussed work, she said, "You were outstanding in terms of accuracy and speed. I'm sure you're capable of doing even more amazing things." Her praise felt like an overestimation, but given my current situation, I knew I had to come up with a new strategy. While I was still lost in thought, she spoke up again, almost as if she had been waiting for the right moment. "By the way, my company is currently hiring a data analyst who can work from home. Would you be interested?" she asked. "Really? That's possible?" I replied, surprised. Without hesitation, I accepted the unexpected offer and decided to return to my old workplace. Gradually becoming active as a data analyst, I was able to earn an income that easily surpassed Jared's monthly salary of $3,000 before I knew it. Of course, neither Jared nor his parents noticed the change in my income. "She's probably just holed up again today doing something that doesn't make much money," my mother-in-law sneered. "She's just incompetent as a wife and as a human being. There are other people who are more suitable for Jared. Why don't you find yourself a new wife?" Such words were flying around in the living room with laughter. Well, they can say whatever they want, but I can't tell them about my income. If I did, they would probably take advantage of me. Maybe it would be better to divorce Jared. While thinking such things, I worked hard aiming for further income increase. And then came the day when I would take a new step in life. "What are you doing? It's time for work. You're going to be late," I exclaimed to Jared, who was still in his room even though it was time to leave. He was staring at his smartphone, scrolling aimlessly. "It doesn't matter. I'm not going in today," he replied with a strained expression, his fingers nervously tapping at the screen. Moments later, his parents entered the room, their expressions mirroring his anxious demeanor. "Why aren't you getting ready? You need to go to work," his father said, his voice tinged with concern. But since he didn't move a step from there, I decided to call his office for Jared. Then, when the situation had settled down a bit, my parents and I listened to his explanations. Jared admitted, "Actually, I've been making some mistakes with Forex recently. When I woke up this morning, $80,000 had disappeared into thin air, and I don't know why." I didn't feel any sympathy for Jared, who was holding his head in his hands. "That's what I told you, right? Forex is like gambling. It's not like you can earn money like a job, and the risk is high," I concluded. Then my in-laws, who had been listening to Jared's story with a puzzled look on their faces, became angry. "Why can't you sympathize with your husband's failure even though you're his wife?" my mother-in-law demanded. "That's right," my father-in-law added. "I thought you were a shrew from the start, but I didn't know you were so heartless. I didn't like everything about you. Get out of our house now." I responded to my in-laws, who were turning red with anger, with a completely opposite expression. "Thank you. I'd be happy to get a divorce," I said. At my overly joyful smile, both Jared and my in-laws were taken aback. "What are you talking about? Are you happy because I lost $80,000? But I can make that amount back right away. So stop joking about divorce," Jared said. My mother-in-law agreed with Jared's words. "Jared can make that amount back right away," she proudly echoed her son's words. And then my father-in-law also started to pick on me. "It's quite something for a wife who doesn't earn much to be able to divorce so happily. We won't know if you regret it," he added. The responses were so predictable that I found their scolding comforting. And then I told them, "You're the ones who will regret it. You don't understand the value of $80,000. I wish you and your son a long and happy life." I said that and left the house with the luggage I had packed beforehand. I quickly proceeded with the divorce proceedings, prepared the audio of my husband verbally abusing me from before, and claimed alimony before all of my husband's assets disappeared due to Forex. "What? Why do I have to pay alimony?" Jared protested. His attitude shifted quickly, fueled by his ridiculous pride. "That's right. You're going to be poor now, so you're just trying to get money out of me." After a pause, he added smugly, "Fine, I'll give you money, as a rich man to a poor person." In the end, my ex-husband ended up paying me around $20,000 in alimony. "Just wait, next time I'll get everything back," he yelled. "Good luck," his mother cheered him on. As a result, the in-laws' family could not afford to pay the rent and had to leave the high-rise apartment just a few months after the divorce. But people who have been living a luxurious life cannot suddenly return to a frugal life. They ended up in debt, and my ex-husband, who was struggling for money, finally got fired for dipping into company expenses. "Please just lend me $10,000, he pleaded over the phone one day. "If you're still doing FX like that, do you understand how much value $10,000 has?" I asked. "I can make $10,000 back right away if I hit it big in Forex," he said with some strange confidence. But what I wanted to tell him was not that. "I can't lend money to someone who doesn't understand the value of money," I said, and hung up the phone with my stupid ex-husband. I immediately blocked his number. And now I continue to work from home as a data analyst and occasionally go out for drinks with my colleagues. There, I met a younger man who was considerate and started dating him. We are now dating for marriage. He is sincere and kind, and above all else, he is sensible about money and relationships with people. I hope we can live together for a long time.